Good morning, how are we doing? Welcome to the Time Domination Show. Today I want to talk about self-pressure. I am your host, James Boardman. So, it must have been about September 2018. And I was getting on the train and I was on the way down to Devon area, Taunton. And I was going down to go and do a talk on motivation, something along those lines. I remember getting on the train and I think I got on around London Bridge, and it was a packed train full of commuters, full of corporate workers working in London going home. And I remember sitting there and this one guy coming up, really smart suit, smart long jacket, came in, took his jacket off, looked super flustered, super stressed, really frustrated. Had two phones, put them down on the table, and he just put his elbows down on the table and he put his hands into his head. He looked kind of like this, as in exhaustion. And he stayed like that for like nearly 5 minutes, rubbing his head. Looked absolutely drained. And I really felt for him. And when I was looking at him, you could see that his world right now was not a happy place. You could see that he was overwhelmed, washed out, frustrated and stressed. And I remember asking him if he was okay. And he said, "I'll survive. It's just another day in paradise." And that was almost something to me to say that it was an acceptance as to where he was, and this was his life. You know, I don't know what he did. 2 phones, smart attire, probably in corporate. But he certainly looked like he was the victim of overwhelm, of pressure, of stress. And I really resonated with him. You might resonate with that period, that feeling. And the reason I feel entrepreneurs really find themselves in that position where you become so incredibly exhausted mentally and emotionally, overwhelmingly, to the point where we're just sitting there with our hands in our heads going, oh, what the fuck? For me personally, it comes down to self-pressure. Now, I've just come back from holiday. I was away last week, off with the family, come back on Monday, and it's like a tidal wave has absolutely knocked me for 6. Just punched me in the face. And I know why. It's self-induced pressure that I'm putting on myself. I am working myself hard and I'm just about keeping the balance, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like that guy that I was describing, with my hands in my head, completely and utterly fucking exhausted. Yesterday, I quite happily admit, had like a fucking 2-minute breakdown, crying in my missus's arms. So I was just like, fucking hell, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. But I don't need to be. I am in control. But up here, there's such a large amount of self-pressure going on. And it's important to recognise the self-pressure that we put on ourselves and try and put it into perspective. I do my morning routine, my morning walk, and this is why. Look, it's a beautiful morning, stunning morning. And the reason I do stuff like this, and I love seeing this, and I do my ritual in the morning, is to help me raise my own self-awareness about my own self-pressures, about what's going on in my head, about the way I'm acting, about the way of conducting myself in business and in life, my work-life balance. What it does is really allows me to be able to be really aware about the direction that I'm heading. Now, I feel much better this morning. I've really sort of grounded myself with some gratitude, really put things into perspective, starting to calm down a little bit after holiday. Wanted to do this post to really reflect my own thoughts. And if you like, this is almost like my journal. I'm more like documenting the things that we're going through, but I know other people are going through the same thing. Lots of different focuses, lots of different self-pressure, and I'm just after a week off, not conditioned to be able to deal with that. So I want you to think about all of the things that you're putting yourself under pressure with. And what I did this morning on this walk is knock 3 things off my list of things that I need to do. And it immediately reduced the pressure. These are things that I can delegate, but for some reason, I cling hold of to try and do myself. But I'm going to delegate them. It's going to relieve the pressure. I'm going to stop beating myself up. And I'm just going to enjoy the process. Because at the end of the day, like, a good entrepreneur is a happy entrepreneur, is one that's in control of his time and his energy, his or her time and energy. And that is what's key. Because if you're not doing that, you're not delivering to your client. So you're not doing your marketing. You're not making the right decisions. And you end up falling off the wagon. So I want you to always have that visualization of that guy, hands on his head. Whether you're a man or woman, it's the same. It's the same feelings. It's the same pressure, self-induced self-pressure. And I want you to try and find a way or have a system in place that allows you to be able to reflect on that and put it into perspective so that you can deal with that. Because I've got a clear head this morning. I'm checking in with myself before I check in with the world. And it just allows me to be honest with myself so that I can make better decisions, deliver better content, deliver better coaching to my clients. They get the benefits of it. No one gets the benefit of it when you're smashing yourself into the ground and you can't keep up. Guys, I hope that helps. I'd love to know your thoughts on that as well. If you struggle with that as well, share it with the community below. Have an amazing day. It looks like it's going to be a good one.